We are not afraid. We realized that we have to make a change. And when Russia attacked, it appeared that Russia is ready to try to invade a neighboring sovereign country. So that had an impact on people's minds, surely.
And how do you think it's going to be resolved? I mean, how united do you see NATO members on how to go forward? Because I think there is unity in the fact that there's condemnation of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, of aggression, of ambition, Russia's naked ambition in the region. But how far to push Russia? How far to arm Ukraine? Not everybody is speaking with the same voice.
But so far we have, I guess Russia also has had a negative surprise. In a way, Western world, NATO, EU has reacted, getting together and supporting Ukraine very heavily. And what comes to Baltic countries, I have no doubt that such a strong support will be found. You took up the Ukrainian situation. There is a risk of escalation, surely, and that has been all the time in thoughts when decisions on how to support Ukraine have been done. And I think that there's a kind of balance. We have seen all the time NATO countries, other Western countries too, helping more and more with heavier armament Ukraine, but all the time avoiding a possibility of horizontal escalation.
And yet, if Russia escalates, we've just had, missile attacks on a crowded shopping centre. You, President Iniste, you know Russia extremely well. You were seen in the past as being quite, having close conversations with Vladimir Putin. Yeah. How do you judge the situation? Arming Ukraine enough to teach Russia a clear lesson versus the possibility of Russia escalating if it sees NATO and the West supporting Ukraine past a certain level? What would you advise NATO?
What we have seen is kind of vertical escalation done by Russians. They are using heavier armament, like you said, missiles and so on. And how to protect Ukraine in this situation? I know that there have been decisions made already for heavier armament, and they are on their way. I think Ukraine will have a possibility to give a stronger answer to the Russian attack. What we have seen in Russian behavior is, I think, now very alerting, and that is that they are using missiles, like you said, and bombing from distance. And that makes a huge danger for civilians, bigger than so far. And if the war is changing to that kind of killing, it's terrible.
How existential, how fundamental is this? NATO's looking at rewriting its security charter. When the last time it wrote it, Russia was still seen as a strategic partner.
Yes.
Finland has always handled Russia with care, sharing that long border with us. Yeah. Is this a no turning back moment, do you think? Or do you think that your neighbour Russia, further down the line, can be seen as a strategic partner once again?
At least this is a point that won't turn very rapidly. It takes time, decades, I guess, at least. One interesting element is that there are some leaders, European leaders, President Macron and Chancellor Scholz, trying to keep contacts to Kremlin. I consider that it is most important that we have such channels or possibility to discussions if there's such a moment. So keeping that possibility, I think, is very important. And they are criticized, but I would like to point out that this kind of element we do have to have.